Call open meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I need a motion to recess closed meeting to consider matters pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071. Second. Move in second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we're going to go to closed meeting upstairs. We'll reconvene from a closed meeting. John?
Mr. Chair, just want to report that the only action taken was in accordance with the legal rules and regulations.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. We'll go ahead and we're going to move up item 3, which is a presentation of proclamation by the Honorable Eddie Lucio Jr., State Senator. Senator? Yes, please, Senator. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman Morales, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to join you this afternoon, this evening, and it's a cause of celebration for all that the PUB, this Public Utilities Board that we're very proud of, has done for our community. I felt incumbent on me to pass a proclamation that I'd like to present to you all, along with some very special presentations for each one of you, and also the staff that was instrumental in receiving that generous grant from the Texas Water Development Board in Senate Proclamation 583. Whereas the Senate of the State of Texas is pleased to recognize the Brownsville Public Utilities Board, which has secured a generous grant from the Texas Water Development Board, and whereas the Brownsville Public Utilities Board was chartered in 1960 to provide electrical, water, and wastewater services to the people of the lower Rio Grande Valley. And it has set a standard of excellence for municipality-owned utility companies, and whereas under the leadership of current board members Dr. David S. Morales, Enrique G. Nájera, Oscar D. Garcia, Arturo R. Farias, Emmanuel Vasquez, Ramon Hinojosa Jr., and Mayor Tony Martinez, it continues to provide superior service. And whereas the Texas Water Development Board has provided $24.505 million to the Utilities Board to provide first-time municipal wastewater service to East Brownsville colonias in an area identified as an Economic Development Assistance Program target area. And whereas Brownsville Public Utilities Board staff members, San Juana Garcia, Ruben Lozano, Carla Blanco, Janet Garza, David Abrigo, Hector Quintanilla, Jesus Alfaro, and Marisela Vasquez demonstrated outstanding professionalism and accountability in procuring this much-needed funding. It is truly fitting that they be recognized for their exemplary efforts on behalf of area citizens. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Senate of the State of Texas hereby commend the Brownsville Public Utilities Board on its legacy of exceptional service, and extend congratulations on receiving this essential funding, and be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be prepared for the board as an expression of esteem from the Texas Senate. And obviously, when we talk about the board, we talk about a gentleman as well that means a lot to this board and to the people of Brownsville, my good friend John Brusiak, who has been exemplary over the years that I've worked with him on issues dealing with this particular service, especially this last session. We were very successful. I'd like to present the board, if I may, gentlemen, starting with Chairman Morales. A Texas gavel from the Texas Senate, along with a copy of this proclamation. Congratulations, sir. Next, Enrique G. Nájera. This was my quarterback back in 1969 in Falk Junior High School. And he's looking good. Excuse me. Oscar D. Garcia. He's not. There we are. I didn't see you coming in. Oscar, congratulations, sir. Arturo R. Farias. There he is. Emmanuel Vasquez. Ramon Hinojosa Jr., Raymond? Not here. And, of course, Mayor Tony Martinez will also have those delivered. Also, John Brusiak, I believe we have. Okay, now the backbone of this organization. My staff likes me to say that when I'm introducing them. Our staff, we'd like to recognize at this time San Juana Garcia. We'd like to present a Texas flag. Ruben Lozano. Carla Blanco. Janet Garza. David Abrigo. Hector Quintanilla. Jesus Alfaro. Okay, and Marisela Vasquez. Okay. I also have one. I also have a flag for the consulting firm, I think, that did a lot of work as well. For their firm, Ambiotech Civil Engineering Group, for exemplary service to the people of Brownsville, Texas. I'd like to present also a flag that was dedicated over the state capitol on Texas Independence Day. Are they present? Okay. Let's give them a big hand. With your permission, a young man that grew up in Brownsville and now heads up the office in terms of constituent services, the Director of Constituent Services in District 27, Arnold Flores. And Haiti Escalante, new to the office, but everybody seems to like her work. Wonderful young lady. Once again, I'm very, very pleased. Anytime that we're able to come together and provide these services that will bring to our community a better quality of life for people. Obviously, it's time for celebration, and I hope that we can continue to see these kind of actions take place, especially in our hometown, that I'm very, very proud of. So thank you for the opportunity to join with you, Chairman Morales, members of the board. Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly an honor for me to be able to recognize the men and women who are leaders in our community and who lead through example in the way they live their lives daily. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you very much, Senator, from all the board members and from all the staff from PUB. We appreciate this. We appreciate your dedication to Brownsville and to the surrounding area. And, you know, this is what it's all about. It's about Brownsville. And every day we go through our due diligence, as our workers do. The PUB workers they're exceptional. There's nobody else like them. And I want to thank y'all, you know, and I think all the board feels the same, because we know they're dedicated. And our administration is dedicated to Brownsville. It's all about us in Brownsville. And thank you very much, Senator, once again, and God bless you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. God bless.
We're going to go back to General Manager's report, item number 2.
Chairman, members of the board, the announcement of the project share scholarship percentage has to be pushed off until July or our next meeting if we can. And then we got the financial report from Leandro. We do have 2 holidays coming up, the 18th and the 19th. The 18th is a floating holiday. The 19th is Emancipation Day coming up.
Monday and Tuesday. Thank you.
Here again, my name is Leandro Garcia. I'm the CFO for Brownsville PUB, and I will be going over the financial performance report as of April 30th, 2012. On this schedule here, we outline our revenues through April. Our gross revenues, line 7 here, through April were $95,680,797. This consisted of $82.5 million in operating revenues and another $13 million in $13 million in interest and other revenues, primarily from congestion rights, ERCOT transactions. Backing out fuel and our contribution to Southmost, it leaves us an adjusted gross revenues amounts of $65,867,211. This is the basis for the city transfer, which as of April calculated to $6.5 million as a 10% calculation. O&M expenses total to $33,442,454. Debt service obligations $13,252,977. For total requirements of $46,695,431, leaving a balance of $16,797,477, of which $4.2 million has been transferred to the city. That was the net of usage on the 10% calculated transfer, and $12.5 million has been retained for PUB uses, of which $6.2 million has funded our $10.7 million annual CIP contribution, leaving a balance of $6,301,491 for surplus. We did utilize part of this balance, $3.4 million, at our May meeting to fund Resaca restoration project equipment. So that leaves a net balance of $2,840,491. Compared to our last year numbers and our budget numbers, gross revenues are 65.9% or 4.0 over our budget targets and slightly over our 2011 numbers. Fuel and energy costs have been below budget by about $7.6 million, 26.3 versus 33.9, slightly higher than our 2011 actual. O&M expenses are about $4.6 million under budget projections as well. Our electric sales on a kWh basis here are pretty much consistent with last year. They did surpass the 2011 number here, 108. Overall, we're 21,475,564 kWh over last year's year-to-date, or 3.2%. On the water, we did take an upward trend here between March and April, pretty much at the same level as our 5-year, a little under our 2011 numbers. We are still about 1.6% over 2011 year-to-date levels. Same thing with wastewater. We continue to be above 2011 levels with that upward trend between March and April did help. Comparison to other utilities, our 86.83 average bill, as you can see, was the lowest. The next one in line is Amigo at 88.15. We have continued to maintain a very low fuel factor. Fuel factor for April was 3.4 cents, for May 3.4 cents, and we did lower it for the month of June down to 3.2 cents. So we will see even lower numbers here for the month of June. Compared to other municipal utilities, we are also faring very well. As you can see, a lot of the other MOUs are pretty much in the same areas we are. We do see some a little bit higher, but overall we're very competitive. That concludes my presentation. If y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for your presentation. We're going to move on to item number 4 and 5. Are there going to be?
We need to request those items be tabled, Mr. Chairman.
Do we need a motion to table?
Second.
Motion, Mr. Nakira, and second, Mr. Vasquez. All in favor?
Aye. Is that 4 or?
4 and 5.
4 and
4 and
5.
5.
4 and
Motion was table 4 and 5.
I'll move on to item number 6, which is consideration and approval of bid award for the annual supply of submersible pumps. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, BPUB Purchasing Department opened bids on April 5th for the annual supply of submersible pumps. They did touch base with 15 vendors, and 5 did respond, of which 2 are being recommended here for awards. Abara Fluid Handling of Rock Hill, South Carolina, $41,626, and Pump and Power Equipment of McAllen for $64,224.37. This is an action item, and staff does recommend, based on the 5 responding entities, to award the contract as specified.
Is there a motion or any questions?
Make a motion to go with the previous staff.
Motion by Mr. Nakira.
Second.
Go with staff recommendations. Second by Mr. Vasquez. Any questions? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 7. Mr. Garcia, consideration approval of bid award for a semi-annual supply of Polemount and Padmount transformers.
Yes, this item was also open for bids on May 3rd for the semi-annual supply of Polemount and Padmount transformers. We do get engineering support on these for reviewing of the specifics pertaining to some of the transformers here that require calculations of load loss, and no loss. Staff did receive 7 responses against the 10 that they were anticipating would participate. Staff is recommending 3 awards. Texas Electric Co-op of Georgetown in the amount of $78,924. Board of States of Brownsville in the amount of $115,389.93, and Wesco San Antonio in the amount of $234,160 for a grand total of $428,473.93.
I have a question.
Question?
What's the cost difference between stainless steel and galvanized?
On the evaluation, the very first one, it's the difference is $87,302.
The total galvanized steel was $341,171.83, and the total
for
stainless steel was $428,473. The first one was the galvanized steel, I'm sorry. So there is an 87,302 difference. The useful life, though, of the stainless steel is preferred by our engineers. So that is the recommendation.
Question.
Any other questions? No, is there a motion?
So move.
Motion, Mr. Vasquez.
Second.
Second, Mr. Nakira. Any questions? No, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 8, Mr. Garcia, consideration approval to approve or reject bids for the annual supply of flexible base.
Yes, person and staff opened bids on May 3rd for the annual supply of flexible base, or type A limestone. They were anticipating participation by at least 9 vendors and received responses from 3 vendors. As a result of this low response, BPUB staff recommends rejecting and rebidding the annual supply of flexible base. However, if the board feels that the 3 vendors responding is satisfactory, we do have a recommendation, if the board at this time wants to award a bid, it would be to RML Hauling and Milling for a grand total of $157,500.
I think one of the questions we had on this was about the limestone and the caliche, right? This is, and or it's lime, or what is it, lime?
It is limestone,
Limestone?
limestone.
And that is preferred by?
The both bids as specified for delivery with using an end dump truck were at $17.50 per ton. So since they were both priced the same, the limestone is the preferred material.
Would we be able to just to say we just want limestone, or?
Yes, we did,
Yes, that is,
yes.
okay.
$17.50 per ton, so.
$17.50 per ton. Is there any other?
No, I'd make a motion to go with the limestone.
To the lowest bidder of RML
Yes,
hauling,
better with just RML.
it would be for the amount of $157,500.
Exactly.
Okay, there's a motion, Mr. Nakira, second by Mr. Vasquez. Any other questions? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9, Mr. Garcia, consideration approval to approve or reject bids for the annual supply of sand.
Purchasing staff opened bids on May 3rd for the annual supply of sand. For this item, they were anticipating at least 9 participants, of which only 3 responded. Staff is recommending rejecting and rebidding the annual supply of sand. However, if the board were to feel that the 3 respondents were satisfactory, the annual supply is estimated at 16,000 cubic yards at $5.69 per cubic yard for a total of $91,040.
Is there any questions?
It's the same cost as we were paying this year, right?
Current cost is $749.
So it stayed the same?
No, we're dropping down to
Oh, sorry,
$5.69
we're dropping down, okay.
Dropping down
per cubic yard.
So, I'd make a motion to go with this little bit.
with a low bid. A motion by Mr. Nakira to go with the 5,
For a total of $91,040.
guys, the 560 something.
$5.69 per cubic yard to AG3 contractors.
Okay. Any second? By Mr. Farias? Any questions? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 10, GG. Consideration approval to approve or reject bids for the annual hauling and loading contract.
I'll go ahead and take care of that one also.
Okay,
If I need GGL
that's okay.
tag. This is another item that was opened on May 3rd by purchasing staff for the annual hauling and loading contract. 7 vendors were contacted and were hoping to participate, of which only 3 responded. Because of the low response, the staff again is recommending rejecting and rebidding the annual hauling and loading contract. If the board feels that 3 vendors were sufficient, then AG3 contractors would be the low bidder. The price for hauling is $4.25 per cubic yard, which is 25 cents more than the current provider. And the loading is 85 cents per cubic yard, which is lower than the 97 cents. This would be stated at an annual amount of $80,000 for the year based on current estimates.
It's about the same as last year.
We would budget at 80,000 and then based on the requirements, just call for the service.
Any question?
I have a question, yes. AG3 has worked before for us, for PUB? Are they a new company, or?
No, they're new. They did before, but they haven't been awarded.
So this is the first time
They would be awarded.
Does staff feel comfortable with the low bid, or would you rather have the, recommend to have, to rebid?
Our recommendation was to give us an opportunity to try to do better than 3 vendors, but it is a comparable price, you know, $425 for, and
I think he's worried about is the company gonna be, gonna take care of us. I mean, they're gonna do what they need to do.
we'll have operations staff do performance on their service on a regular basis. We did include some type of performance indicators. It's going to be, you know, critical that they meet the timeline and the service calls.
I'll go ahead and move to accept the low bid of AG3.
Motion by Mr. Vasquez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Nájera. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 11, Genoveva. Consideration approval to approve or reject bids for the annual contract for concrete work.
Another bid that the purchasing staff opened on May 3rd was for the annual contract for concrete work. This does entail various types of service. We were anticipating for 11 vendors to participate, of which only 2 responded. And for that reason, staff is recommending rejecting and rebidding the annual contract for concrete work. If the board feels that 2 vendors was satisfactory, then R&R Paving would be the lowest bidder for a grand total of $195,547.92. As I mentioned, this does entail work related to driveways, sidewalks, curb and gutters, saw cutting, and valley gutters.
Any questions?
I move that we accept staff recommendation to rebid.
The rebid?
Yes?
Okay.
Okay, there's a motion.
So we reject and
Reject.
Reject and
The
rebid, yes.
motion is rejected.
Reject and rebid.
That's correct.
So is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Nájera. All in favor? Or, I'm sorry, questions?
Why were there only 2 bidders on this out of the, I think you said 11? Yeah, the 11 bidders.
We did receive acknowledgement that
We have here that they declined, because they're a general contractor and they don't do that work. The other ones said they didn't have enough time to put the prices together. The other one said they were going to bid, but they overlooked the bid date. And then we received an acknowledgement from R&R. And then the other one said that they didn't have time to do the work, so they did not submit. It's just, they didn't have the time to do it, or they didn't put their numbers together on time.
we'll try to do better, and for the meantime, do a month-to-month continuation of service with the current provider, R&R.
Is there any other questions? Mr. Farias?
What's the cost on rebidding, what the process?
Staff and advertisement,
The advertising, $400 or $500.
the document's already prepared.
Right.
It's
Just to change dates and,
So about how much?
the advertising is maybe $400 or $500, depending on how many we put into the newspaper, and then it's just to change the dates on the bid. We have all the specifications ready.
And we usually do two advertisements. So
Any
this
other
one,
questions?
this one would probably come back in August. Probably not enough time to do July.
No, we don't have time for July.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 12.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gigi. Genoveva Gomez, consideration approval for the selection of a candidate for professional service for construction materials testing services for the Robindale Wastewater Treatment Plant Renovation Expansion Project. Gigi.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, April 22nd, a request for qualification for professional services for construction material testing services was prepared and advertised in accordance to PUB's procurement policies. Earlier today, we had a workshop that we conducted, and we had 4 candidates that interviewed for the project. We had Earthco, L&G Engineering Laboratory, Professional Service Industries, Rabba Kisner Consultants. Recommendation is to be made by, for contract negotiations based on best overall qualifications and presentation. PUB staff requests Board of Directors to select an organization for professional services for construction material testing services for the Robindale Wastewater Treatment Plant Renovation and Expansion Project, and to authorize the General Manager and CEO to negotiate a contract with a selected candidate.
Okay. Yes.
I'll make a motion to go with the professional service industries.
Second?
A motion by Mr. Nájera, second by Mr. Vasquez. Any questions? He,
No, go ahead.
yeah, don't know?
With who was that?
ESI?
Yes,
The ESI? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Got it? Item 14, Ms. Gomez, consideration approval.
13?
Oh, I'm sorry, 13. Pardon my French. Consideration approval of a resolution for final acceptance of contract 9A lift station rehabilitation number 6, 49, 61, 73, 74, 75, 76, 79, and 113 of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act Sanitary Sewer Overflow Project.
Okay, on November 23rd, PUB awarded a construction contract for contract 9A. It was all lift stations, mainly rehab, to Ferguson Service System as part of a 46.1 million grant from the ERA projects. And this project was considered demolition and reconstruction of all those lift stations. The original contract was in the amount of $2,821,220. Notice to proceed was issued January 18, 2010. PUB approved 8 change orders resulting in a decrease of $473,609.22 and a final contract amount of $2,347,610.78. And final percent decrease from the original contract was 16.78%. And the project was substantially completed on March 13 of this year. Texas Water Development Board requires PUB board resolution certifying that the completion and acceptability of the work performed in order to close out the project. So PUB staff recommends approval of the resolution for final acceptance of contract 9A, lift station rehabilitation, number 6, 49, 61, 73, 74, 75, 76, 79, and 113.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Is there any questions? Is there a motion? Any questions?
No questions. You want a motion?
You want a motion?
I move to, go ahead, Oscar.
I move to accept the PV staff recommendations for approval of the resolution for final acceptance of contract 9A lift stations rehab for number 6, 74, 75, 76, 79, and 113.
Motion by Mr. Garcia,
Second.
second by Mr. Vasquez. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gomez. Item 14, Mr. McCann, consideration approval to authorize the general manager to negotiate a retail energy contract based upon a best and final offer submitted by retail energy providers.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Sure.
On May 24th, Purchasing Department opened proposals or acknowledged proposals for a new retail energy provider to provide energy to 34 sites that PUB cannot serve directly. These include security lights, electric service to the southmost water wells. Proposals were sent to 11 vendors, with 6 vendors responding. PUB currently has a contract with Sempra Energy at a price of $0.0527 per kilowatt hour. Due to the volatility of the electric energy market, energy providers cannot guarantee prices for more than an 8-hour period. Therefore, with approval of the board, staff will call for a best and final offer tomorrow and finalize a contract with the most responsive bidder.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
I have a question.
Question? Mr.
James, on all this, I guess, units that we're not servicing, is there a way we can eventually be self-sufficient? Can they be, maybe look at getting technology, solar powered, or do something to?
Well, we're moving in the direction of annexing some of these areas. Mr. Medina, who was here earlier tonight, is working on a project to extend the city limits out to the well field. This is the big customer on this list that's probably 80% of the dollar value. So we're moving in that direction. It's still probably a few years away.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
I motion that we go with staff's recommendation to authorize general manager to execute a 2-year contract for energy based upon a best and final offer to the vendor, offering the lowest rate for an amount not to exceed $1,300,000.
Motion, Mr. Farias. Second, Mr. Nakira. Question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 15, Mr. McCann, consideration approval of the rental diesel generators for hurricane preparedness.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the purchasing department opened bids for the rental of diesel generators for the hurricane season. Request for advertised along the normal methods to 10 vendors with 3 responding. They came in with pricing totaling, low bid totaling $210,705.
Okay, any questions?
Kind of along the same line, Arias's question, and to a comment that Mr. Sines had mentioned, is this the most cost-effective way of doing this, or is there some way at some point to go down a Workzilla type of solution, or is that something that's just cost prohibitive?
We're going to be bringing to you next month the proposal to install permanent generators at the southmost well sites. That's 2 of these units. The city from time to time has brought up the possibility of putting their own generators. They haven't moved on that. As an alternative, we could put permanent generators along the, such as the Wortzilla, that would not only do the Impala pumps, but also back up the south wastewater treatment plant. So it's all possible. It's just a matter of where you want to spend your dollars. Historically, it's been cheaper to do rentals, but we can evaluate that now or each year as we move forward.
Pretty cheap the way we're going right now.
Sure, yeah, 200.
Brand new units and they're
Maintained and everything, yeah. If needed. Any other questions? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to go with PUB staff recommendation for approval of diesel generators rental for hurricane preparedness for assistance for a total amount not to exceed $210,705, and approval of additional monthly extensions if necessary by management.
Motion, Mr. Nakira. Second, Mr. Garcia. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Consent Agenda. Item 1A is to approve the minutes. So, motion, Mr. Garcia.
Second.
Second, Mr. Vasquez. All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Before I adjourn the open,
There's
is there?
nobody
public-
signed up.
No public comment. Before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you to the staff for doing an excellent job, administration.
We have 1B as well.
I'm sorry?
We have an item 1B.
2 consent agendas.
Oh, there was 2? Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, C. 1A, 1B, and 1C, they're minutes.
Well, on the consent agenda, item 1A, we already approved 1, so we got to approve A, B, and C? Or
B and C are still.
B and C. So moved, Mr. Nakira. B and C.
Second.
Second, Mr. Vasquez.
Sorry for the interruption.
No problem. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So all consent agendas are consented and approved.
Thank you.
But, and, you know, Mr. Science was, now I lost my train of thought. No, not true. No, I just wanted to thank everybody and all the, a lot of times we forget about you guys. They're out there working real hard and making a living, but you're also part of the PUB family. And we want to thank you. And, it was excellent that the senator came and recognized y'all, because I know that at any point in time, we have anywhere from 30 to 50 grants out that we're constantly trying to get money to improve Brownsville, to keep the rates low, and to keep maintenance and keep improving. And it's all because of the PUB employees. And so I just want to say thank you, and thank you from part of the board, and thank you guys for working with us. This is an exciting year, and let's move forward. God bless everybody. Motion to
Adjourn. So moved.
so move, Mr. Vasquez, second, Mr. Nakata. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Big gavel now.